Derrick Henry throws the touchdown pass. And congratulations, Derrick Henry. You're disqualified from today's draft. We are doing the most important non-quarterbacks for conference championship weekend. But we're taking Derrick Henry out of that mix, too, because he's clearly the most important non-quarterback. And by virtue of what he did last week, he's also kind of a quarterback. So anyone except the quarterbacks and Derrick Henry is fair game in this draft of the most important non-quarterbacks. Chris, I've got the trivia question for you. If you get it right, you get the first pick. Mike and Kyle Shanahan are the only father-son duo to each appear in a conference championship game as head coaches in NFL history. There's only one other father-son duo of coaches that have playoff wins. Who is that duo?
Oh, man. Father-son duo that got playoff wins. I mean, I want to say Wade and Bum Phillips, but I'm not. Okay. I wasn't sure if Wade won a game or not.
Wait, he wasn't done yet. He wasn't done. He may have screwed it up and said, I don't know, some other father's son. Bud and Fred Grant, I don't know. Bum and Wade, you get it right. You get the first pick. Well done.
Okay, all right. Well, that was, I wasn't sure if Wade won a playoff game as a head coach or not, but so I couldn't remember there. I almost choked that one off. All right. I'm going with the Smith brothers, the brothers from another mother, okay? Preston.
Which one?
I'm going with both. They're synonymous here, okay? I'm going with both. I know I'm cheating, but you'll understand the point I'm making here when I get done with it. Yeah, I think these two, Zadarius Smith, Preston Smith, they're vital if the Packers want to have any chance of winning this football game. Because these guys are well-rounded football players. They're really good against the run, and they're going to have to be really good against the run this week if they want to win this football game. Added to the fact that, Mike Pedden and company, they need to pressure the quarterback with 4. They can't be throwing up 5 and 6 guys at the line of scrimmage for then Shanahan to have a play-action fake and then nobody be at the second level and Deebo Samuel or George Kittle are flying down the middle of the field for a 50-yard gain. So it's going to be imperative not only for the Smith brothers to slow down the Shanahan run game, the things they do on the edge, they're edge defenders, they'll be responsible for that in the run game, but to be able to really pressure the quarterback and win their one-on-one matchups with Staley and McGlinchey. If they can do that and be somewhat dominant there, of course, I think Green Bay has a chance to win this football game.
Same team, other side of the ball, and only one player. At least one of us is sticking to the rules. With Derrick Henry off the board, the next running back who would have the most impact this weekend, Aaron Jones of the Green Bay Packers. We saw him do a little something early on against the Seahawks, but then he got shut down. They're going to need more from him if they want to get past the San Francisco 49ers. He can't go MIA in the second half. You need to have Aaron Jones in that run game, especially if the Packers get any type of a lead. You got to grind it out. You can't rely on Aaron Rodgers doing magical things throughout the entire game. And if Aaron Jones has an Aaron Jones game, that's going to make it easier for the Packers to do what seems to be on paper a very difficult thing.
Yeah, I think that's real, Mike. I mean, from everything about it. Yeah, last week was great. He jump-started them, right? Got them going, got them out to that 21-3 lead. But it's like they run out of creative ways to give them the ball, too. And once a team gets used to like, oh, okay, this is their bread and butter play for the day, it slows down. Like Matt LaFleur company, they need to save 1 or 2 creative runs for the second half of the game, too. They got to, so they don't run out of tricks that way. That's one issue to me that always looks like they kind of stall out as the game goes on because they run out of plays to schematically screw you over. So good pick by you. I'm going to go with a little bit of a Captain Obvious one here, but I'm going with Tyreek Hill. I do think Tyreek Hill is really important this weekend, maybe more than most, because I think there's going to be instances, one, where the Tennessee Titans, like Dean Pease coming from New England with Mike Vrabel, they'll double Travis Kelce on certain situations because they know, hey, it's 3rd and 5. Mahomes loves to look at Kelce in those situations, and it's going to leave favorable matchups for Tyreek Hill one-on-one. Also, Mike, we texted about this a lot during the game last week. It's important, too. Hey, what's the point of having Patrick Mahomes and Tyreek Hill, and a team's going to play you man-to-man, bump and run in your face if you're not going to take some shots down the field? So Andy Reid and them, they need to be aggressive with throwing him the ball with deep shots. One, to scare the defense off. Two, there's a good chance you'll get a big completion. Three, what we saw last week is when they did it, they got some big pass interference calls too. And you can't forget about that. You know, that's certainly a big aspect to what they do. But they can't get into the 5 and 10-yard passing game with people playing man-to-man. They can't let them get away with that. They got to scare them and use their assets, which is speed and a big arm by Mahomes and Tyreek Hill.
All right, I got to flip it back over to the NFC, and I'm going with a 49er, and I'm torn between a couple of them, but I want to go with George Kittle. He didn't practice yesterday with an ankle injury. You know he'll play, and he's the heart and soul of that team. He is the guy that gets them going, and he was getting them going last week, even though he only had 3 catches for 15 yards, and I just feel like he personifies that quality, that spirit that can lift the 49ers to the next level. Whatever he's able to do offensively, whether it's 3 catches, whether it's 6, whether it's 9, whether it's 12, he relishes the duties of blocking in the running game, and he'll play, and he'll find a way to be effective, and he'll have 2 weeks to heal up for the Super Bowl if they win. And I just think he's critical to making that offense go the way that it needs to against Green Bay.
Yeah, agreed. His ability to block in the run game, the energy he brings to that football team. When he catches the ball, it energizes their own team, the crowd, everything about it. He's the fan favorite out there, right? I mean, you could hear it when he runs out on the field or does anything. They love George Kittle, and you get it. He's a crazy SOB, and he's fun to watch. I'm with you there. I think if I'm going to go here, I'm going to go with a guy that we're not sure is going to play, but I think it's important whether he plays or doesn't. That's Chris Jones. I think that'll be my last pick. I mean, Chris Jones, you could argue is the best defensive lineman in the Final Four here as far as who's playing this weekend, and we don't know if he's going to play. So that's huge to me. If he doesn't play, that's one hey, he's the biggest game wrecker on the Kansas City Chiefs defense. There's nobody that causes more havoc on their defense, let alone, like I've said, other than Aaron Donald, there's no defensive tackle that causes more havoc than this guy. He's amazing in the pass rush, and he's amazing in the run game too. He messes up a whole lot of plays and causes dysfunction on offensive lines. So if they can have him even at less than 100%, it'll be a big help to their football team. If he can just be at like 80 to 90%, it helps them out having him out there.
Yeah, I think it's going to be critical if they have any hope of shutting down Derrick Henry, or at least maintaining him in the range of 100 yards, not 180, 190, or 200. I have a feeling he's not going to play, but we'll see. Day-to-day with a calf injury.
Yep.
The thinking is he'll be good to go for the Super Bowl if they make it. He didn't play on Sunday against the Texans. Not that they needed him, but I think they really need him this weekend against the Titans. All right, since you already broke the rules, I'm going to break the rules too.
Good. Go
you
ahead.
went with the Smith brothers on the Green Bay Packers defense. I'm going with the B brothers, Brian Bulaga and David Bakhtiari, or as you would call him, David Bakhtiari. The two tackles. The 2 tackles for the Green Bay Packers. It is critical that they slow down the edge rushers, and it's not going to be easy with Dee Ford back, with Nick Bosa being Nick Bosa, and we had the clips earlier of how he was able to get past the backup to Brian Bulaga when the Packers and the 49ers played back in Week 12. They are going to need to slow those guys down. It is not going to be an easy task, but they are critical to giving Aaron Rodgers enough time to find somebody open, to drop in that 30-yard throw that we saw to Jimmy Graham and the throws to Devontae Adams. He's not going to have time to do it if he's running for his life. Now, he's got mobility that Kirk Cousins doesn't, but I still don't think he's got the mobility to run away from guys like Dee Ford and Nick Bosa on the edge. So the tackles need to do their jobs.
I think that's a strong pick. I mean, you're picking tackles. I'm not mad at you for picking 2. It's like you're picking 1.
You already picked 2 guys.
That's what I'm saying. It's like an important aspect. You're talking about the edge blockers. I was taking the edge defenders. I'm saying I get it. You're right. They're huge to this game. They got no freaking chance of winning this game unless those 2 can block the 2 you mentioned, Bosa and Dee Ford. If they have to go out of their way constantly to help them out and max protect and do all those things, then Green Bay's not going to win the game. They're just not. What's the, again, Bakhtiari is arguably the best pass protecting left tackle in football. He's got to be on an island and do it himself, and that's the same with Bulaga. Bakhtiari.
Thank God his first name isn't Daniil.
What's worse, Mike, is I played with his brother, and I still don't know how to say his last name. It's like, no, I'm just horrible. I don't know what else to say. Yes, that's it.
I don't have anything else to say to that. All right.
Okay. You're a jerk.
And see, with this new radio clock, we got plenty of time to fill, but let's save some time for the next segment. Here's the quick recap of today's draft. Most important non-quarterbacks, except for Derrick Henry, because we know he's the most critical in either game. The Smith brothers, Za'Darius and Preston, Tyreek, Hill, Chris Jones. Those were Chris's picks. My picks, Aaron Jones, George Kittle, and the Packers offensive tackles, Brian Bulaga and David Bakhtiari, as Chris Simms would say.
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.